Do. Re. Mi. Fa.
Attention, everybody. The views expressed on this show are not necessarily those of Axe Ministry, Axe Media Group, and or their affiliate and subordinate ministries and or nonprofits. So without any further ado, it's time.
All that blood. Wash away all of our...
Here we go. Good morning. Coming to you live from Axe Media Group headquarters here in the beautiful Springfield, Missouri. It's the Morning Drive with Matt and Jay with your hosts, Matt Jay. Yay!
On the cross you died for me. Shed your blood for me.
This is how Jay was dancing in the parking lot. I was just watching us on here. Oh my goodness! I can't even today. I can't even. Wait for it. Wait for it. And here we go. We're coming up soon.
I am yours forevermore.
You ready?
Who I was before, and I see for the first time all I'm made to be, and I feel.
It's like a bad Japanese.
It is. It's like, and I see for the first time. Gotta breathe, Steve. Gotta breathe.
Breathe in, breathe out.
You gotta let those laughs out, folks, because if you don't, they'll turn into farts.
Right.
They'll come out somewhere.
They will. They will. Be surprised how much somebody would laugh if they thought that they would come out as farts. Well, just the thought of it makes you laugh. Just the thought of farts makes you laugh. Him and his Russia collusion over here.
What? I was colluding with Trump.
Hey, man, that's the way to go.
Because he was Putin. Yeah. He came up with that. I can't take credit for that joke. That was all Jay right there.
See, Jay does have a sense of humor.
What?
When he
So
wants
good morning,
to
everybody.
have.
Welcome to the Morning Drive with Matt and Jay. My name is Matt.
My name is Jay.
My name is Steve.
We're glad to have everybody on board with us today. Now, I will tell you guys that I'm getting sick, so I'm a little bit meh right at the moment. So,
I believe Steve was just implying that I don't have a sense of humor.
who was doing that? Which Steve?
Me.
Oh, Mickey Mac.
Well, we got Steve Schultz.
Oh, and he even admits it. He's not even shy about it.
No. Well, I mean, it's
No.
to your face.
To my face,
Right to
Steve.
your face.
I
It's better
commend
than
you
being
for your-
behind your back.
All right,
It's
so
like, get to the bathroom.
Axe Media Group is not on yet.
It is.
No.
Good. Gotta go find it.
Good
It is
morning,
not.
Susan
I looked
Burrows.
at my notifications. They're not on.
Well, I'm just fine. I'm right here.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey,
Hey.
hey.
Hey. Good morning, everybody on AxeRadio.com. We're glad to have
Straw.
you guys with us today. Yeah, straw. This is the last straw that broke the camel's back.
Straw.
Get to the barn. Get to the barn with the straw. Ah. Everybody get down, get down. Don't get me started.
Oh, and you're sick? What
I
kind
am
of
sick. It gets worse. You know, the sicker I get, the more goofy I get.
Uh-oh. Watch out, folks. And this is only Thursday. It's not Friday yet.
Thursday?
No, it's Wednesday.
Not Friday. It is.
It is Wednesday.
It's not Friday.
No.
Let's see, kindergarten cop.
What?
Ah,
Kindergarten cop. Steve, don't say it.
what?
Don't even say it.
I got Scott.
It's not a tumor.
It's not a tumor.
That's not a tumor.
I wish I was a kindergarten teacher.
I wish I was a kindergarten
Could you imagine
teacher.
him being a kindergarten teacher in a
Never
church?
bites.
Yes, there's a movie about it.
Well, no, I mean in a church.
In a church.
Everything is under
In a
control.
church.
In a church.
In the Sunday school.
Don't worry.
There's the
Everything
Sunday
is under
school with
control.
Arnold.
And then there's
Dog?
Junior
Where
Church.
he will pump
It's like, what's up,
you
my?
up.
Dog?
Dog.
Ow. Just hurt
I
myself.
didn't mean to hurt you.
Okay, thank you.
I'll be right back, okay?
He'd be
Okay.
right back.
You're
He'd be
kind.
right back.
I think I can help you with that.
I can help you.
Oh, really?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm
oh,
sorry, very sorry.
I can.
Can
You can?
Can
No.
you?
No.
No.
Nothing.
No.
No, 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 no,
No.
This is
no.
entertaining. Just seeing how many times you guys impersonate every sound I do.
Now we're having fun.
Yes,
Yes.
we are.
Now we are having
Okay,
the fun.
next.
What did you
The
say?
fun. We are having the fun.
No.
We're
Don't
here to
start
pop.
this.
You are.
Quiet.
What?
Quiet.
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 You heard
Ready?
me.
Yes. Are you?
That's
No.
a ferret.
That's the gear.
This is my ferret.
This is my ferret. My ferret.
You fat?
That's right, I am.
You're a fat.
I can sit here and do that all day long just to hear you guys like impersonate every sound that I do.
That's probably really getting annoying to some people. So
This
you know-
is not annoying.
Um,
I'm gonna start losing my fans.
You
here.
don't say this annoying about us. About the Arnold.
Allow me to break the ice.
I'll break.
Okay, break the
I
ice.
break things.
you
What
guys,
We're making up for you.
too
not
funny,
doing-
too funny.
Two funnies, not one. Not
Two.
one funny, but two.
Too funny. Not one funny.
Iceman cometh. Tonight's forecast. A freeze is coming.
A freeze.
Freeze.
A freeze.
Oh,
Not
that's
again.
Mr. Freeze.
Good morning, Larry Melton. Good morning, everybody. I can understand why we don't have a whole lot of listeners right now. So I can understand.
Well, look at you.
That's why.
We have Arnold in the
Where's my
studio.
wife?
We've been blocked. The Arnold has blocked us.
What killed the dinosaurs?
The dinosaurs are
The
dead.
dinosaurs.
The hippopotamus.
The hippopotamus
That's a missing
dinosaur.
link to the
Dinosaurs.
to the whale.
A laundry service that delivers.
These are all from Mr. Freeze.
Put on your Sunday finest. Hand over the Diamond Garden gal.
Diamond guy.
He was probably one of the best
Mr. Freeze.
villains in my opinion,
The
in any of
villain.
the.
He was
He's
an
the
excellent
villain.
Mr. Freeze.
Frosty!
See?
What? Who's
My name is
Who's
Freeze.
this frosty
He's not
man?
talking about Frosty the Snowman.
Adam
Frosty. He's got to go.
and Eva.
He'll be back.
He will be back.
All right, so I better stop. Everybody's going to be stopping. Jason Cobb joined us.
Who's
so-
that?
No, I didn't join. I'm gone now.
You actually fell for that?
You fell for that?
No, no, I didn't.
We still have not had it post from Axe.
That's because you're not looking in the right place.
Good morning,
You're
Fred
impatient.
Marriott.
You don't tell me the right place.
Because I get notifications all
Hello,
the time.
Tracy Sunshine.
Tracy Sunshine.
That's who it just came on. Hello.
I'm really, really loopy today. I just
Well,
really,
it's
really.
that medicine. That medicine's kicking in.
He's
Wait
on
till
the
it goes
loop.
away.
He's looping.
Get to the snotter.
Looping. It's like back to the place you started, only now in a new direction.
I love.
What?
What?
You give me the microphone.
Oh, I bet you. You know what? I didn't even think of downloading a Shrek soundboard.
Oh no, we are in trouble.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
You're not doing it. You're not
You're not
doing it.
doing
I
it.
forbid it.
No.
Yes.
Shrek soundboard.
There's something. This is Axe Media Group is live now. Matt Pearson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, man, I know that guy.
Is that the guy? Good morning, Susan Burrows.
Hey, see, Susan. Thank you, Susan, for keeping on. She
on
just
keeping
loves.
on.
Well, remember, we're the Fabulous Three or whatever
Fabulous
she said.
3. Fabulous 3.
The Fabulous Three.
I don't know.
We crack her up every.
We've been
morning,
called
so-
all kinds of good things.
Yeah,
And bad things, too.
I'm sure.
What?
I know I have.
Meme
Well,
soundboard. I'm going to cancel.
Seriously, folks, this is not a normal Wednesday morning.
that. No, it is not.
Because it's raining.
It's raining and
this
I'm
morning.
sick. I don't feel good.
He doesn't feel good, people.
And you know what that means.
That means that Matthew does not feel good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I'm just going to sit back and watch with everybody else.
Matthew does not feel good.
No, I don't.
He's,
To all the girls I
feeling,
loved
he's
before.
feeling a little stuffy. He's
They're
feeling
going in
stuffy.
on my door.
Get that man a napkin.
Get that man a napkin. Get
A
them a napkin
tissue.
now. Now.
He's a tissue.
Napkin now.
Get to the napkins.
Wait till he's feeling better, folks. If you're tuning in for the first time, wait till he gets better.
If you're tuning in for the first time.
Hey, don't be laughing at Jay.
That was Shrek.
No, it was not Shrek.
It was Shrek-ish.
It was
suppose.
an audio.
Here's what I was looking for. You know when I was talking about that pie?
Mm-hmm.
It was the best pie I've ever had.
Oh, you found it.
Beep,
Yes.
Beep meaning
Yes,
Shame
I
on you.
strawberry rhubarb.
found it.
You know what I think of you? Well, Matthew Pearson,
Yeah.
you.
Oh, you wanted me to hit the button. Oh,
He
gotcha.
wanted you to hit the button.
It was more entertaining that way.
It was. You left him hanging,
All right,
Matt.
let's try to
That's
get
terrible.
Pearson,
That was late.
you.
This is total fail. Total
That
fail.
was a total fail. That was nothing like the little fly buzzing yesterday. That was great. I don't think we could do that again if we tried.
That was
could try.
timing.
Let me find it here. Sound effects.
Oh man,
I got to find it.
He's got to find it.
he's got to find
He's
it.
searching. He's searching for the fly.
Ah, you ready?
Ow. Ow. There's a fly in here. There's the bug. The bug is bugging me.
Well, still wasn't as good,
No,
but it was all right.
about a half a second off.
Half
Yeah.
a second.
You have to watch the replay of yesterday's show.
There we go.
Hello. I love catching flies.
He still has it. He
I think
still
that
has
was a
his
mosquito.
fingers together like he's got a real fly.
Yeah. Now open up your hands. I got it.
Good. Okay, good.
That one is gone.
It's
It's
protein.
finished.
It died shortly after it left my face.
Oh,
I guess you can prompt.
man, it's
You guys in that popping noise.
for 5 minutes.
Oh, Matt down to yes, I am down today. I got a head cold, and it's not fun. That's what it sounds like in my head right now.
Have you ever seen those poppers, man? Sometimes they can be a real annoyance. You know, the plastic,
Oh yeah,
the
pop-
wrapper.
Fred Marriott, I hope that wasn't a swear word.
no, it was not.
No, he's. Well, you don't want to give away the secret, but no, Fred, seriously, it was not. I would never, never, never do that.
Jay would. Good morning, Marcia. Good morning, Scott. Jana says sorry. Thank you, Jana.
Honey catches flies. That's why. Oh, that's why Rachel loves me so much.
Oh,
Are you the honey
God.
or the fly?
I don't know why. She
Not
swallowed the fly.
perhaps she'll die. What a morbid song to be singing as kids.
I know.
Have you ever sang the hole
And
in the
it's
middle
such
of the
a
sea?
cheerful song too.
There's a hole in the middle of the sea.
Yes.
There's a hole in the middle of the sea. There's a hole. There's a hole. There's a hole in the middle of the sea. Then there's a log in the hole in the middle of the sea. There's a log in the hole in the middle of the sea. There's a log. There's a log. There's a log in the hole in the middle of the sea. And then it goes on. There's a there's a frog on the log. There's a bump on the log in the hole in the middle of the sea. Then there's a frog on the bump on the log in the hole in the middle of the sea. Then there's a fly on the frog on the bump on the log in the hole in the middle of the sea. Then there's a fly. Did I already say fly on the
Yeah, you
frog on the
said
bump on
fry.
the log in the hole in the middle of the sea?
Yeah, you said fry.
Fry.
Okay. Now, there's a wing on the fly on the frog on the bump on the log in the hole in the middle of the sea. And then there's a flea. Flea?
Flee.
There's a
on the
flea and a wing and a fly and a frog and a bump and a log and a hole in the middle of the sea.
Oh, look at
What?
that, folks. Listen to
What?
that.
You know how I know the kids love it?
No.
Why?
I didn't have it up.
Well, you lost it. See, you got to. Thank you, audience. That
Give
was.
yourself an ovation, Matt. That was pretty good though.
There we go. That's
You
better.
should say it again.
See, the kids loved it.
There's a fly on the wing on the. There's a flea on the wing on the fly on the frog
On the bump on the log in the hole.
in the bottom of the sea. The middle of the sea.
See, they thought it was good.
Hey, what's going on with Krakatoa? Is it still erupting?
That's what I guess it means.
Krakatoa is erupting.
Krakatoa
Oh man.
in
Good
the
morning, John.
Philippines.
Marcia
Yes.
says, "Is this the new Bob and Tom show?" No. I
got nothing on
will.
us.
No, they ain't got. Well, I mean,
The Bob and Tom,
except for
they have nothing on us.
hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of equipment and
Wow.
studio space. I mean,
Wow.
it's all right. Millions of dollars worth of
Wow,
studio space.
millions. The many millions.
But they started like we did.
They started. They
They
did start.
started.
They started like we did.
I've created monsters.
You are the monster. Oh, I just.
I could be the monster.
So yeah, all serious. What do you guys want to talk about this morning?
Certainly not what we did yesterday. That was a little intense.
Yesterday we talked about how the science is trying to say that the hippo and the whale are each other's missing link, I guess, or something like that.
Oh, I told that
The
to the
hippo
men's
is the
Bible
missing
study
link to
last
the
night.
whale.
A couple of guys, and they're like,
Which is stupid.
"Wow, what world were they in?"
You know, I wish I could swim underwater and breathe underwater.
Yeah,
That would be really cool.
yeah, it would.
I
Good
mean,
morning, Priscilla Kemp.
I'd have really, really tough skin if you're going to go down very deep. I mean, you
hell?
got all that weight and pressure.
Weight and
Exactly.
pressure. Weight and pressure.
Under pressure!
At the bottom of the sea on the bump in the log. Flea. With the flea. I thought we were singing.
No, you can go on. Go on.
What
We
were
could do
we
this
gonna
all
talk
day.
about?
I could do this all day.
What were we here?
I'm not
What
not
were
feeling
we
up to
going
par today, so I really can't think of anything to discuss that's
Oh.
of any seriousness
Oh man,
because, you know,
Come on, think about it.
think about it. Okay.
Nothing
We
serious
gotta
going
be a
on in
part
the world
two for-
today.
why don't we
Oh,
do
I'm
part
sure there are
two for
lots of-
yesterday? Why don't we continue yesterday's conversation?
We are, pretty much. We
Yeah.
are.
To talk about nothing.
Well, you know, we had such a serious conversation yesterday about missing links in the fossil records.
Yes, and Bill Nye and
Yeah, Bill Nye approved the message.
So I've been reading James.
Have you?
Oh, that's
Same
good.
first chapter.
Count it all joy when you go through certain tribulations.
Yeah.
Amen.
When anything bad happens to you, praise God for it.
Yes.
Oh man, we lost Fred.
And there's don't favor the wealthy. Show bias or favoritism.
Marcia says she would be a dolphin.
Yes, you'd be a great dolphin, Marcia.
Yeah.
There's a dolphin on the flea, on the
No.
wing, on the fly, and the
No, the dolphin has nothing
Fly
to do
on the
with it.
log and the frog and the
you missed
log
the
and the
frog.
hole in the middle of the frog.
And
What?
that's in the middle of that sea.
Yeah.
That
With the
sea.
dolphin.
So if you're just now joining us, the topic
The
topic
topic
of conversation.
conversation.
is I don't know what.
We don't know
Yeah,
what.
poor man.
What do you
You're-
want us to
you're
talk
so
about?
sick.
I think pray for the people that you love. There's a lot going on in everybody's life.
Yeah.
I think
Yep,
everybody,
including mine.
suffering and striving is part of our curse. So pray for everybody.
And physically, you know, if
Welcome
you're
to
so,
life.
and if
Even
you're
just
so
think
stressed
through
that
the-
it hits you physically, pray for the stress to leave you, and I'm sure the physical needs will be lessened. I'm not saying it'll disappear, but it will lessen considerably.
Yeah.
Because when your body, your glands, they can only hold so much stress. Then it shuts down like mine did, and I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Hey, that wasn't funny, folks. Are you trying to say that I'm funny? That guy that heckles too much. This studio audience
too
needs
bad.
to go.
I'm sorry.
This studio audience needs to go.
Yeah, they're fine. Go home, studio audience. You're drunk.
See there.
No, really, you're drunk. You just can't. You can't tell them anything.
There's the door. Don't let it hit you on the backside.
Anyways, I'll put that down. I can't have a serious conversation today.
No way.
You know, it would be awesome to be a dolphin.
Yes,
You know,
it
but
would.
without the people trying to kill you and all and eat you.
You know what? Here's something. Teachers union is wanting schools to rethink the lockdown drills.
I said, how? Like what?
I don't know, Susan. Kind of explain yourself.
Explain yourself, Susan.
He didn't. He meant that in a nice way. He really did.
Yeah, Susan. Let's do a commercial. While you do-
Good idea.
All right, so
Yes.
hold on.
Is your face up
Is
there?
my face up there?
It's all up
See,
there.
I knew what he was gonna say.
It's all you,
That's
bro.
sad.
Hi, everybody. Matt here at the Colds Having Desk here at the studios. So today's show is brought to you by NaturalSolutionStore.bz. Now, you're probably wondering, now, what thing on NaturalSolutionStore.bz is he going to be talking about today?
Something
Well,
good for colds.
I am asking myself the same thing. If I've asked myself once, I've asked myself 1,000 times, and then asked myself 1,000 times more, just trying really hard to figure out how much stuff and how many times I have to ask myself this in order to give my page time to come up onto my screen. And it's that's how long it takes.
Wow, that was cool.
Do you like that? I mean, this is fun. Today, I'm going to talk about all-natural cold and sinus.
Good
All right.
idea.
So
for
the
you.
product provides relief from allergy symptoms and supports natural oxidants. Overall, it improves the sinus and respiratory health. Moisture and mucus supports immune functions. Ears, nasal, and sinus passages soothes tissue and membranes, balances moisture and mucus, and supports immune functions. So it's that time of the year. It'd be good to keep this stuff on hand. I should have taken my own advice a month ago.
Yes.
I thought for sure I wasn't going to catch all this, but you know what? Turns out I
Surprise.
have. So go online, naturalsolutionstore.bz, and pick up some all-natural cold and sinus medication today. Back to you guys.
.bz.
Obsession.
Possession.
Hashtag.
And hashtag. Wow. Always got to have the last hashtag.
Hashtag. Sorry.
That should help you.
I hope so.
Very, very good.
You're gonna hate
It's
it.
good medicine. No, I think it'll make you feel better.
Nice and
So-
crunchy.
So let's talk about the trials and getting through the trials. Too many people are facing trials and tribulations. Count it all joy. You really should.
Yeah, because, you know, no matter how much we try to fix it ourselves, we're not going to be able to.
Well, and
We have
life
to have-
brings trials. It's part of the curse. We've all sinned. We're going to trial. We're going to
Toil over the earth.
Toil. Yep.
Susan did explain it. She said it makes some students have depression and fear in their life on a day-to-day basis.
I think they should arm all teachers,
Yep.
True.
except for ones with psychological issues.
And there are some.
Or
they-
with a moral issue with it. Conscientious objection.
and there are some that have that problem. They just hide it, and they think they hide it well, but some people can look right through that.
Yeah, but some people can hide it well.
But then see they hide
That's
it
the problem.
well. Then some people that see right through it, they're already in. So it's like,
Oh,
what
I should have
we do
played
with-
that. There's a little song that's like boom, doo-ch, doo-doo, doo-ch. As I
Yeah.
was taking
Well, how
my
did Cain kill Abel?
Huh?
How did
How did
Cain
Cain kill
kill
Abel?
Abel?
Did he stab him?
There was murder and killing and fighting and war long before guns.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
well, you
yeah.
know
Well,
when.
and this isn't really a gun issue.
Well, there was a
Didn't
what?
he? Didn't
It's
he
a terrorism
take,
issue.
hit him blunt with a blunt of objects or something?
A stone, I thought.
Stone. That's what I thought. He's
Stone from the
he took
field.
a big stone and hit him over the head.
Well, there was a shooting in another country, in Thailand.
Yeah.
Thailand has some of the most strict gun laws you'll ever see. Like if you get caught with a gun in Thailand, you're in trouble.
Big trouble.
If you get caught with illegal drugs in Thailand, well, I think they're less hardcore about drugs than they are guns and weapons.
They should be equal. I should be.
Well, you know, gun control. The point is, and I'm not going to make this about gun control. I'm not going to use the deaths of people and the tragedy of others to further my agenda of the Second Amendment, because I believe it's in bad taste to use that as a platform to push an agenda for gun control on anybody.
Yeah.
And The politicians that do it, it makes me sick.
Who were they? That's the most important thing, I think.
Yeah, and don't talk about the gunman. Never talk about the gunman. Don't give him any credit
Yeah,
whatsoever.
because that only makes them stronger.
Yeah.
You should talk about the victims, who they were. Because a lot, and I'm
Celebrate
not
their
saying
lives.
it's all good, not just always celebrating, but also
Morning.
mourning. Some people die in horrible circumstances in their life and have not had the time to change and to make a difference.
Well, it rains on the just and the unjust alike.
You know, to reconcile and to make, you know,
That's
there's
sad.
chances lost
That's
like
sad.
that. There's horrible people that have been killed this way too, you know, who missed the opportunity to turn their lives around and will never know the difference that could have been made in their life.
Right.
Priscilla says, what about fire drills? They're no different. We always loved the drills.
Oh yeah.
Ah, we did.
Sometimes
We
they
got
pull
out of
the drill-
school. You got to stand
Sometimes-
outside in the middle of the day.
Or
Sometimes
under
they
your
pull the
desk.
drills on purpose just to get out of school.
Or under your desk? Remember getting under your desk?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you probably don't. Did you do the bomb drills?
Yeah.
We did
We did tornado drills, bomb drills.
We did nuclear
fire drills?
strike drills.
Oh,
Earthquake drills.
Because underneath your desk, well, so that way you can't see the melting wave of radiation coming at you.
Well, I think the reason why is because depending on how far you are from the blast, if the building falls,
You got that on top of you to stop something from crushing you.
Exactly.
Because those
And-
desks were made of steel back then.
Yes, they weren't metal. They were actually.
I mean, back in you and Jay's elementary days, they were probably made out of stone, weren't they?
they
like
were made
carved
out of
stone.
steel
well,
and wood.
It
They weren't
depends on what
chiseled
school
out-
you went to.
Remember
we're
the
chiseled out of
gray,
stone.
or is it gray brown
Gray brown.
steel? Remember they
Yeah.
painted?
Oh, that was a brown. The legs
Some
were
were
brown.
green, yeah.
And the desk itself was like a maple or like a light wood.
Yeah, you like
That's
color
true,
wood.
Marcia. If you look at the trials of the unsaved and trials of the saved, and us being disciples, and how important it is to share the gospel, it is. It is
Yeah.
very important.
I don't think the trials are any different.
No, they're not different. The difference is the hope that we have,
The comfort.
and in Jesus.
And that's where we should be, is in the comfort of his arms, because he's got big arms.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a carpenter.
And
so
there's
you
got
know
to be
he's
a will to
probably pretty
change, to
muscular.
tackle and face the issues and problems for whatever part of it is your responsibility, and to face that and
Yeah.
make a difference. Something we all need to learn and improve at. You know, things creep up on us.
Yep. And sometimes they creep up, and you're not expecting it. And sometimes, if you're not careful, you don't know how to handle it. You could be in jeopardy.
You can feel helpless or hopeless too.
Right, you
like
can
there's
be-
no way
you
I
can be in
can
jeopardy.
meet this challenge, but that's not true. Because we have a Lord who is with us and who does help us face and meet these challenges and
He's
troubles,
closer than a brother.
and helps us through them when there's nothing we can do and the tragedy just comes upon us, and it's unavoidable tragedy. You know, loss of a loved one, financial failures and collapses.
Good
You know, there's
morning,
all
Doug.
kinds of
We have a-
struggles and trials, relationship issues.
Good morning, Doug Anderson.
Doug Anderson, welcome to the party.
Moral issues. Can you imagine what children are going through in school nowadays? We didn't have
Oh.
all these
We're
moral
froze up.
contradictions and conflicts that we have now.
Sit tight, everybody. We're froze up.
Is it just the video or everything?
Just the video. Fixed it.
Okay, we're back on. Hi, folks.
This
no.
is silly.
I remember the days of school where sometimes getting back to the fire drill just for a minute. It was that was the worst thing. People used to chew gum in class. That was like a 50s, 60s thing.
We'd get in trouble for that, remember?
Yep. Like
always
stick,
go-
or the little kids, they'd stick it underneath your desk. And then the poor janitor would have to be cleaning the desk and find all kinds
What
of...
about the kids who put the boogers under the desk? That's gross.
That's just wrong.
I mean, I wouldn't know anything about that. I never.
I mean, what are you supposed to do with it? That's the question.
Everybody just got grossed out because everybody
not sure
thought
how
of
to
that
handle that.
simultaneously. Everybody thought, "Oh,
In school, come on, boogers were a thing.
yeah."
Yeah.
It's better to wipe it on your girlfriend in her hair, right?
Yeah.
Or put it in a straw and spit wad.
Oh, gross.
Oh.
One classmate in third grade did that. He actually put it in a straw and spit it out to somebody.
Oh my goodness. Oh. All right.
we
I
used
think
to
we
take
should-
those-
A
We
second
used-
grader, you know?
You might think
Come
it's
on.
funny, but it's not. I try to use that joke on a daily basis.
Yeah.
They used to do these things called wasps, where you'd roll up a piece of paper really, really tight and cut it in sections and bend it in half and put it on a rubber band. And
Oh yeah.
There you go.
yeah.
oh
those-
yeah, they were drawing blood on people with those things.
Oh yeah. Put a little sting to
One
you.
guy was putting tacks and stuff in them.
Oh,
my.
man.
That's too much.
That's a little over the top.
Kids go overboard.
They do now.
What?
Shoot.
Yeah, and the racist stuff that goes on between kids. Oh my goodness.
The what?
The racist stuff.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
not so much now, but
We didn't know about that stuff when we were young.
Well,
I didn't.
when you get in high school, you do.
Yeah,
It may have been my
High
family,
school's a
too.
whole different ball game. When you're in junior high, the swirlies were the big thing.
That's true. Marcia says we as Christians can handle it. So different. The unsaved turn to depression or suicide. I think she means the unsaved turn to depression and suicide, drugs and alcohol.
You know, Susan did say, I don't know if you guys remember hearing about this lately, but a note was found on the hallway floor. Paragould School was on lockdown Monday. SWAT team, police officers, emergency crew, and a whole lot more came. And then Jonesboro School, a boy left his gun in his truck after hunting over the weekend. It caused a lockdown last week.
See, we had I went to we froze up again.
Yes, we did.
That's all right. We'll get it fixed up. You guys continue talking about that. I'm going to
Yeah,
reset
because it's green. See where it's got a green bar right there on the top?
Microphone.
It's got a green bar right on the top there.
Yeah, because they can still hear us.
Okay.
I guess is what I'm
Yeah.
told.
Yeah, now it's unfrozen because I can see him walking.
All right.
Okay.
So, back we go. More checkered. Here we go. Boom.
Nihilism, hopelessness.
Fix it. Yeah, we'll have the better one. Will be on. This is our last week on Facebook Live, folks.
Yeah, so sign up for YouTube.
Sign up for YouTube.
Like and subscribe to
Axe Media Group on our YouTube channel.
That's what I told people, last night in the men's group, and I've told several people to do the same thing.
And I would like to get some lavalier mics.
And that's if you want to comment. You can watch it without signing up. But if you want to comment, you have to sign up, right?
Right. Yeah.
Susan, you got that?
What?
What are you doing?
I don't know. Just being.
He's
I'm
being
really
good-
weird today. Really weird.
That Halls is getting to him.
How'd that feel? That helped, didn't it?
Yeah.
That cough
it does.
drop
Yeah.
was very
it does.
helpful.
You sound a little better, actually.
Yeah. I love you, Matt.
I love you too, Jay.
Love you too, Steve.
Love you, Steve.
And love
Jay,
you.
Love you,
Love you.
Matt.
We love you, the viewer.
Love
Z-
you.
Viewers. You guys make our day better by being here with us, and so do you too.
Thank you.
So, and so do sound effects.
Yes. We can't have a show without the sound effects.
Could you imagine if I had a board of 1,000 buttons, each one having its own sound effect and labeled?
Yeah.
Just,
We'd be in trouble.
It's like that.
Benny
Hill.
Right, Benny Hill.
Yeah, you were trying to think of whether you can actually say it on the air or not.
Right.
So what about some
Man,
testimony?
you are good.
What about some testimony? Do you have any issues in your life that the Lord's working on you and trying to change you and make changes in your life? Maybe some sins that He's trying to correct and renew you and renew your mind?
I'm sure there is. Right off the top of my head, I can't think of anything. That doesn't mean that there isn't any. But I think that, it's more of a blessing to know that, and this is the honest truth, obviously. I wouldn't say anything but the honest truth. This ministry here at Axe has really helped me grow, actually. I mean, yeah, we have fun. We laugh. But it's able to bring a bigger and better testimony for people that actually have watched the show. They're like, wow, you do such a great job and you're funny. But on the same time, I'm like, I even told the guys last night at Bible study that it's a chance for me for my show, to see if there's anybody hurting out there that's really down and out, that they can hear my testimony and see what I'm doing and say, you know what, he's run through a lot, and look at what he's doing now to brighten other people's lives.
Yeah.
And that's why it's called Brighter Living Live.
Yeah, on the on the thing they just sent out with the programming on it, it's Brighter Living Life is what they put on there.
Yes,
So-
I saw that.
Um,
It is live, not life.
And well, I mean, they called our show the Drive Time Show for the longest time. And whenever Jim finally started calling it the Morning Drive, then Dr. Paul started calling it the Drive Time Show. And so here we are, the Morning Drive Time Show.
Ah,
Unless you're in, Australia, then it's like the Evening Drive Time Show, right?
right.
They're like,
Yeah.
They're-
So I think
the
there's
drive
several.
drive home.
So there's several things that the Lord's working on in my life. I think that sins of mine. One is He's put me in this place to be at service to Him, and I'm not studying like I should. Preparing to, being prepared and armed with the Word of God to be able to help.
true of us all.
So there's that one thing. Plus, there's a widow there,
Yeah.
Miss Becky, and it says which scripture?
Care for the widows and the orphans.
Yeah, this is the true manifestation of faith, or true. What does it say?
I don't know.
Yeah.
We can look it up.
So there is an opportunity there to be able to serve God in the way that He desires us to.
Yeah. Sorry, those things are pushing on the side of my head.
I think sexual desire and sin, the drive for sexuality. That's something I struggle with too. I mean, I'm a man, and I have desires. That's one of the things that I struggle with a lot.
It's one of the things that I think all men struggle with that.
It's true.
Yeah.
But everybody's afraid to say anything about it because they're afraid they'll get judged. As far as like, oh, how dare he,
Exactly.
And let's face it, folks. And we all have those sins that that we fight on a daily basis, knowing that it's a sin and knowing we shouldn't be doing it, like having lustful thoughts and things like that. That's stuff we got to battle every single day.
Because this is a human flesh. We're not going to have that perfect body till Jesus
I mean,
comes back.
obviously, even when you get old, you still think of it.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was wrong, guys.
I think you're right.
But you're right. I mean, I know what you're saying, but you're right.
I don't know how that drive is in men and women, but I can tell you as a man, and from my experience in talking with other men, it's a very powerful and
It is.
compulsive, frequent
is.
struggle for most of the men I've spoke to. Now, I have a lot there, but there are also men I admire in that they don't seem to struggle with it, and whenever they do speak of it, they speak. What makes me think that they've had so much victory over is that when they do speak of it, they speak of it as though it is dirty or sinful or weak. So I know that there
Which
are
it
men
is.
who aren't struggling.
Their opinions are different than man.
Huh?
You're saying that their opinion is different than men, as far as being
No, I'm
dirty.
saying that there are men who I believe don't struggle with it the same way that I do, because by the way they speak of it and refer to it from the Bible, they don't refer to it. And
Priscilla says some women struggle with high sex drive too. Thank you for that. I know it's really hard to admit this in front of people. Like when we were in a small group and we were asked to talk about that kind of stuff by the group leader, because it's something that men and women struggle with silently by themselves.
and it's humiliating.
It is. It's gross, humiliating, and it's just
And that's why Celebrate Recovery is not just for drug addicts.
no. It's for any kind
It's
of.
for any kind of
You don't have to
addiction.
just be recovering from drugs to be in that program.
And
Recovery, I think by definition is to recover your life. That some sin has caused destruction in your life and the lives of the people that you love and have come in contact with.
What a serious conversation we get into right after our antics this
And
morning.
then to recover your life and to help those you've hurt and affected in a negative way to recover from your bad decision making or bad acting.
because,
bad speech.
When people go through that program, it's a 12-step program.
Step 4 is the hardest
Yes.
Well,
for me.
it is difficult, but then see the thing about the other steps is it's the key is maintaining. So it can become hard, although it doesn't feel as hard as step 4. but to continually now the part of the teaching of the 12 steps is that when you realize that your defects of character have caused you to sin or act in a way that's ungodly or a sin, that you confront that immediately, confess it immediately, apologize immediately, and make reconciliation and amends for it immediately.
And if you're not careful, you can drop off that wagon.
Yeah, because then you have regret, which can turn into resentments.
Unfortunately,
Marcia
that's
says
what
God delivered her from sexual addiction.
Yeah.
And my brother,
Praise God.
He went through that Celebrate Recovery, and unfortunately, he dropped off. But my sister-in-law, she was able, after he passed, she went ahead and finished what they both started. She was there for support, but she went ahead and finished the steps, and it was really hard for him. He just couldn't stop.
Well, you don't really finish them.
You continue on, but you go through the program and you get those, coins for a celebration or whatever.
The last few steps are daily steps. They're steps that you take throughout the day, every single day.
And then when you recover, when you graduate, you continue to stay there and help others that are
Yeah.
going through that.
Yep.
So you're always a part of it. You just have that first.
Which is part of why I brought that up, is the struggles and the sin in our life that God is working on, because that is part of the 12 steps. If you're going to continue to help other people to recover their lives, the first thing that they need to be able to do is confess and to understand their own defects of character. Now, the way the 12 steps do it is a very interesting way, is they start by your resentments. So you name everyone in your life that you can think of who may have hurt you in some way. And then there's a list of ways that people can hurt us, and you assign those effects that those people had on you. And those are the resentments you have towards those people for what they did to you. Well, as you start to make these connections about what these people did to you, and so you're not keeping in mind how you've hurt other people or what your defects of character are. What happens is when you list all the people who have hurt you and how they've hurt you and what effect it's had on you, you start to realize your own defects of character because you start to see the similarities in the people who have hurt you and you. So you start to realize, I am no better than them. Because as you go through all the lists, what's one of the common things that we realize in our lives? You know what I mean? We're tailgating somebody. Then the next thing we know, we're slamming our brakes because somebody's tailgating us. Right? Well, so that's what the resentments, you hate that person because they tailgated you. It makes you angry, right?
Correct.
Well, then you start to realize, wait a minute, now I'm tailgating. So it makes the connections between
Morning,
the
Robert
sins
Jones.
committed against you and your own sins and how they affect people. Such a small thing that you don't even think of.
So
Like
Priscilla
cutting-
says, go ahead.
Cutting somebody off in traffic can have an effect on somebody. Because what effect does it have on you when somebody cuts you off dangerously in traffic, right? You
It
get
makes you
angry.
mad.
It changes the tone for your whole day. It can affect the way you relate to other people throughout your day when you interact with people.
That's
and that
true.
can affect them. So you start to realize your
chain
defects of
reaction.
character and how it spreads. And the best way to do that, I think, is through confession, confessing our own sins.
Priscilla says, God created sex. It is not a bad thing. He created it to create closeness within a marriage. Yes, it is also essential to create life, but sex is a beautiful thing, as is all things when done according to how God intended it. Satan has made it dirty and shameful.
Very well put.
It's very well put.
Priscilla.
I think men and women make it dirty and shameful,
Good.
too.
Yeah, well, I
That-
mean,
good for
We
you.
don't need
Priscilla.
Satan
Thank you.
to
no, he doesn't have to try very hard.
because the Word of God tells us that sin comes from our
Good
own
morning, Robert.
desires and the pursuits of them.
Yeah, and we're
That
dragged
leads us away from God
I guess it would be drug away by our sins.
by our desires.
Yeah.
Desires
It
is
doesn't
what
mention
gets you.
Satan.
Desire is a hook.
Satan gives the original temptation. But then life, and that's what caused the fall. But we don't need Satan to desire something so much that it leads us away from God. It's our own desires within us for sinful things and to do things according to our own will instead of God's will. I'm
You
sorry.
okay over there?
Did I cut you off? You're
No,
trying to
no,
talk.
No, no,
aren't
no,
you?
no. I'm listening. I'm a sponge right now. soaking
He's a
it in.
sponge.
Not SpongeBob, just sponge.
We have a sin nature. We're born with it. We don't need Satan to sin.
You're clean.
Though he does
Watching you clean stuff
through-
off your shirt.
through the media and through how these things are presented to us, the temptation is presented.
And it's all in your face now. It is all in your face. You can't pick up your phone and start going through Facebook or anything like that without there being clickbait of some sort with half-naked women and or men on your screen.
Or friendship requests.
Ah, yes.
That's not unanimous, though. People
No.
who don't, people who have good self-control in those areas oftentimes don't fall to the clickbait, so they don't get as much of it. See, the
Priscilla
idea
says
is-
whenever people cut her off in traffic, she prays that she doesn't rear end them.
yeah.
Good idea.
Yes, I did
While
get
you're
that
hitting the
bag
gas
that you
pedal?
left in the car, and I was very puzzled because I I slept all day yesterday.
Yeah.
I took some NyQuil and slept because I'm sick.
Yeah.
Well, I got in the car this morning, and they had something that I have to return to somebody, and it was sitting in my car, and there's a tambourine in it, and I was like,
Huh.
everything's normal. I'm just driving. I'm like, what is that? Like, hear the. I was like, what? First thought was that
Did you
Barney
start playing
somehow.
it?
No, I thought about it. First off,
Tapping the
I
box.
thought maybe, and I got to call Barney back and let him know. Sorry about yesterday. I slept all day and I didn't even get his calls because
Shame
I
on
was
you.
sick and in bed all day. Anyways, I'm like, did Barney somehow get in my car and leave a tambourine in here? And it took me a minute because my brain's still fogging from the, the
Sleep and-
the sleep and the NyQuil, and I'm like, oh, I remember what it is now. But so yes, to make a long story short, brother, I did get the stuff that you put in the car, but I was very confused for about a good 10 minutes trying to figure out where it came from.
That's funny.
So,
That's hilarious.
Mr. Letterman joined the party.
David?
No, I asked him that too. Actually, I believe his name is Ryan.
Oh, well, welcome
One
to
of my
the party,
drivers.
Ryan.
Welcome to the party. And it says what does it say?
Huh?
USCG Letterman.
Yeah.
Is that what does that acronym mean?
USC Letterman.
USCG.
CG, is that a military, Robert? Or Dave?
You want to call him David? David Letterman. Yeah, they. I guess Brad Pitt went politic,
Yes, he did.
and he probably regrets it already.
I'm sure he does.
I
Or should.
boycott him.
Yep.
But there's a lot of them that are boycotting him now.
Well,
because of what he said.
pro and con. I
Yeah.
mean, conservative or liberal. Look, I don't need an actor to tell me how to think.
Right.
If they want to accurately present the truth of any topic in its entirety and give us the whole story so we understand it well enough
Coast Guard.
to make decisions and come up
I
with
figured it
ideas
was
about
military.
making a difference.
Yeah.
I figured it was military, but just like Ricky Gervais, he said, I know it was kind of some colorful language, but he basically said, if you're going to come up here, get your award. We don't need any politics, basically. We don't need to hear your voice. Just get your award, say, I love you, whatever, and get off the stage.
Right.
And so many, I said it very G-rated.
Yeah.
His was more R-rated.
Was that British guy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was real hard. They're probably never going to let him host the Grammys ever again.
I don't think so either. Because
Because he was,
he was
and
a
he's a
little over
British
the
guy
top.
that's known for being liberal, right?
Right.
But he was basically, he's like, oh, they were like, oh, he's like, oh, shut up, you guys. You'd have to see it. He did use a lot of colorful language, but he did basically
Was
make.
that Ricky Gervais?
He was.
He was a night at the museum.
Yeah, he's a British guy. He's really funny.
Yeah,
His movies are pretty funny.
but in real life, he's a one nasty guy.
I think he's an atheist. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
he
But
is.
that's neither here nor there. Yeah, Scott went to school with Brad Pitt at Cherokee and Kickapoo.
Oh,
But yeah, that's, now I'm not going to watch any movies with Brad Pitt in them anymore. And that sucks because he's a good actor.
He really had some good movies, and now, you know.
It's just I was like with Tom Hanks and a bunch of other people that I used to love watching. Well, I didn't like watching all the Tom Hanks movies before.
Some of them were
some
sleepers.
Some of them were really really good though. Like I mean, I'm sorry, the one about the Castaway or whatever, where he was
yeah.
on that desert island. I wasn't a huge fan of that.
It was okay.
Because I was tensed up through that entire movie. Like,
Forrest
what's
Gump
going to
was-
happen? I'm a very empathetic person, so when I see a dude on TV fighting a really bad toothache and no dentist or nothing, and he has to use an ice skate to bash it out of his head, that makes me cringe a little bit.
Yeah, that's not what. That would not really be the first.
While
thing
he's
I'd think
making
of.
the rope to hang himself, I mean, come on. I don't need to be watching that stuff.
Yeah, and well, he was Scully and Forrest Gump, and
Yeah.
I guess I
Great
heard
actor.
that there might have been some issues with
But I
Scully.
boycotted him, and I think boycott is one of our greatest powers as a society.
When actors give all their money to the poor, then they can preach socialism. Yeah, that's what Priscilla Kemp says. You guys realize it's time for us to get out of here?
Man,
No.
oh,
Fast.
one more comment, and then I'm gonna be quiet because I know we got to go. I don't think any actor should be a politician. They have their acting skills down pat, so you never know what they might say is the truth or they're acting, and that came from Susan Burrows.
I think President Trump's going to go down as one of the best presidents. He's going to be along there with the greats
With Reagan.
with Reagan and possibly even what's his name?
H.W.
No, what's his name? Just shot in the head. What's his name?
Oh, John F. Kennedy.
No, well, no, I guess a different one. Lincoln.
Lincoln. Yeah,
I think
him.
as a democratic republic, all of our presidents serve a great purpose.
Yeah.
yeah,
Even the bad ones.
Neil Brock,
expose,
party.
expose certain things and certain flaws in our system. And I don't think Barack Obama, though I don't agree with his politics, I don't think that he was wasted in his space that he took as a president. I think that as president, he did bring to light and expose a lot of things that really needed to be addressed in our country.
It's Tony Hammock.
So these things couldn't have just come up and exploded like they did without something boiling under the surface.
True.
Yep.
Ronald Reagan made a good president. Yeah, he did.
He did.
But I agree with you on that,
Reaganomics.
Jay. Everybody's in power because God allows it.
That's exactly right. And our God is sovereign. And so good or bad, any president has a purpose to serve in God's plan.
Well,
and I
anyways,
love God for that.
Yeah. Well, it's time for us to get out of here, folks. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us on the Morning Drive today. We'll be back on tomorrow, same time, same channel. Be sure and tune in next for the new gold standard with Tony Hammock coming at you here in the next 10 minutes. So until then, my friends, may God bless you and keep you. We love you. My name is Matt,
My name is Jay.
My name is Steve.
and this has been
The
The
Morning
Morning Drive. Oopsie.